to the underworld. One nation underdog, there which you stand alone. A face in the crowd, unsung against. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with the VeVe, OMI, Definity, DEVVE, DACAT update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. Welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon. Smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. We'll start off with DEVVE today because there's quite a bit to go over. We had an announcement from DEVVE over the last day or two. I forget how it went, just because yesterday it was the Super Bowl, so stuff was cray. Anyway, you have Tom Anderson, who not the MySpace guy, he's the founder of DEVVE. But why would someone use DEVVE exchange over other exchanges? Because there are so many. He says, in a competitive space, this is a good question. The short answer is that the DEVVE exchange solves problems that other exchanges cannot. DEVVE exchange is designed to be the safest place to hold, transfer, and exchange assets. DEVVE exchange will be the first exchange to combine all of the best aspects of centralized exchanges: speed, throughput, cost, experience, and decentralized exchanges, non-custodial. Then you have instant settlement, fundamental invention. DEVVE exchange is built on compelling invention called contingent transaction sets, or CTS for short. Users can sign contingent transactions where they only go through part of a set where the contingencies are filled. For example, if you want to buy one Bitcoin for $100,000, that means you're willing to send $100,000 if and only if you receive a Bitcoin. This is the contingency. A seller who wants to sell a Bitcoin for $100,000 will send their Bitcoin if and only if they receive $100,000. The buyers and sellers' transactions are matched and grouped, and they are both then approved by validators. This gives the MIS, or mathematically instantaneous settlement. For the first time ever, you can have high-speed, cost-effective, non-custodial exchange transactions that settle instantaneously. We believe that CTS will be viewed in history as one of the world's greatest financial inventions. No middlemen. CTS therefore removes all middlemen. When you use a centralized exchange, you give them your assets. Centralized exchanges fundamentally act like brokerages rather than exchanges. That's why FTX was able to steal their users' funds. In our case, theft is not possible as users directly maintain their assets at all times. Not your keys, not your crypto. Cost, speed, throughput, and experience. In contrast to centralized exchanges, with decentralized exchanges, you can maintain control of your assets, but decentralized exchanges are slow and create a poor experience. They can have high levels of slippage and are plagued by manipulations such as front running. Smart contracts do not guarantee security and are rife with manipulations. Decentralized exchanges are also not regulatory compliant. The drawbacks of DEXs are non-starters for TradFi businesses, which is a primary category that DEVVE exchange is targeting. And what about fraud, theft, and loss protection? Well, the crypto space is fraught with risk. No one in the crypto space hasn't felt some fear in sending a transaction or hasn't worried about their assets being stolen or lost. I've experienced this many times rolling out a lot of crypto in one transaction. But it's an all too common occurrence in the space, and DEVVE has a consensus level protections for fraud, theft, and loss, which do not require trust. Even the hardest core crypto purists will like these protections. Again, not your keys, not your crypto. You can read more over at the DEVVE announcements that they had over on their X or even on their website. But what about bailment protection? What happens to your assets if an exchange goes out of business or the underlying assets are stolen? Historically, too many times, users are the ones that suffer the loss. DEVVE Digital, in contrast, is building a system where it's not the holder of the assets in bankruptcy. Instead, large financial partners will maintain nodes for the blockchain and will be legally required to deliver customer assets in the case of a DEVVE Digital bankruptcy. Imagine a world where you aren't afraid of losing your crypto or transferring it into the wrong hands. Imagine being able to trade at high speed with low cost, where there are not a bunch of financial entities manipulating transactions and extracting an unfair share of profits in the system. Imagine doing all of this while maintaining full control of your assets at all times. When you put all this together, you have a new gold standard, and regulators will love what they're doing because we do not take custody. Perhaps more importantly, DEVVE exchange, for the first time, checks all the boxes that traditional finance companies need to see in order to hold and trade crypto for themselves for their customers. A medium-sized bank cannot put their customers' deposits into an exchange like Coinbase. They have a fiduciary responsibility to maintain and control their customers' deposits. You can use DEVVE exchange though, because customers maintain control of their assets, have recourse for fraud, theft, loss, and are comfortable with the bailment system managed by large trust institutions that, again, they already trust. Think of what this means within the context of the global tokenization movement. Tens of trillions of dollars are expected to enter the blockchain space, controlled by institutions and cannot use the world's current exchanges. We feel we can become the new gold standard and the leader in the capital. We are creating the world's safest and most reliable exchange, and importantly, the only exchange feasible for all of these new entrants into the space. That's why I have a little bit of money in DEVVE Digital, or the DEVVE token, I should say. I do not have any ownership of their company. I would like to, but I do not. Any new money that I get will probably go to the token. I guess speaking of new money, it do be expensive to pay artists for the DACAT comic. So if anybody has any meme tokens, any meme communities out there that they're like, hey, we want to be part of this, we want to advertise, send them to me. We'll strike a deal and see if we can go and get them in the comic in order to help pay for the artwork. Anyway, let's move on here. DEVVE is $1.06, up about 12% today. It was like 80 something cents the other day. I think like Saturday morning. One Saturday morning. Oh, that was a throwback. Guys, did you know that like a lot of kids nowadays see that songs from like the early 2000s are like oldies? It's like, bruh, that was like, shut up. Anyway, on Saturday morning, DEVVE was down to like 80 something cents, and I wish I could have bought there, but I think I was asleep. I wasn't able to. It had hovered between like 92 and 99 cents. It finally broke $1 today. Again, I wish it could have waited another couple, and it might go back down there. You know, we don't know. If it does in the next couple of weeks, I'll likely be able to go and get a little bit more. But unfortunately, right now, all I could get was a little bit more. Anyway, let's go on to Definity for a quick second. Definity. Actually up 6% today, or almost 7%, at 2.7 cents. Still very, very low. The trend has been down for months now. Let's go to the 3-month chart. Yeah, I mean, it had gone up to about 7 cents at one point, and then 5, and then it started again 3 months ago at about 4 cents, went up to 7, back down. I think 2.5 or 2.4 is like the low. So is that the actual low? I don't know. We'll see. Again, the trend has been down for like the last 2 months. We'll see what it can do. We'll see how much more I can get. I'm not gonna lie. I have a decent amount already. Have been trying to stack DEVVE just because I think DEVVE does run first. But a lot of what I expect to get will be in the next couple months if Definity's still down here. Now, Definity could be like, what's the market cap down here? It's less than $4.2 million market cap right now. Fully diluted, just under 4.7. So let's say it's 5.4 cents, and it's like, you know, still like a $10 million market cap. Goddamn right, putting a bunch of money in this. But again, DEVVE's got to go up first, and I do have that goal of getting that billion OMI. So it is possible that Definity does run before OMI. I do think that, like I said, Q2 is when the token starts to move. So I think we have a couple of months. I'd like to think we have 2 months for OMI. Does that mean it stays at these prices? No, I mean it could triple. What is that? What's OMI at? 0.0028. Let's see where we're at here. 0.0028. So let me just do quick math. So it could triple and be 0.0084, and then I'll never get a billion OMI if it's that price. Be like $700 something thousand to get as much as I want, or as much as I need to get to a billion. Because I already have 220-ish. But yeah, if it can stay down here at these prices, the billion is my goal. Obviously, if Definity runs before OMI does, let's say it just takes off, then yeah, a billion should be pretty easy to get. That shouldn't be hard. But that's if both DEVVE and Definity, you know, run before Ecomi does. And again, that's possible, even though I think that Q2 is when we start moving, maybe mid Q2. It's possible it doesn't happen until Q4. And if that's the case, yeah, billion done. Or again, we've been trending down for like what seems like forever. Been trending down for like 3 years. And it is possible that, and again, that real stake in the ground was like 00026. Hasn't gone there since, but it's gotten pretty freaking close. If it breaks that, it's possible it goes into the 0001s. And if it does, maybe multiple billions. I mean, if it can get cut in half, or even like, could you imagine a million OMI for $100? I'd get up to 500 million pretty easily, like even now. But yeah, that's so. Again, just want to let you guys know that anything can happen. And even though I think it starts to move by mid Q2, it's possible that by mid Q2 we're cut in half from here. Take a 50% haircut, and we don't actually move in the positive direction until Q4, or whenever the narrative hits. So again, just be be prepared. In an episode of Gilmore Girls, a lot of the parent-teacher conferences, a lot of parents like, well, how do we know what's going to be on the midterm? And Mr. Medina says, we can't know exactly what's going to be on the midterm. So you should be prepared for all of it. A lot of what baseball managers do before, the draft or whatever is like, okay, we're going to, we need 3 pitchers and we need a left fielder. And they go in, they say, okay, for this draft, and NFL coaches do this as well. They'll say, hey, this is what we want, this is what we're thinking we can get. This is what the Eagles are probably taken, these are the Colts are probably taken, Jets are probably taken. And then they say, well, what if they go here? Like, well, if we go here, well, we're going to have a contingency plan for that. And if they get this guy that we want, then we'll get this guy. And again, that's why they get paid the big bucks. Anyway, just saying, be prepared for all contingencies. Who's this? Okay, cool beans. That's on the definitive. All right, so DACAT real quick, and then we'll get to the news, I promise. It's been 12 minutes. Let's go over a couple comments. Pink Panther says, let's go DEVVE token. Oh, heck yeah, brother. Heck yeah. I think I can get more soon. I mean, I really like under $1. Will I still get it if it's like $1.25? Probably. But again, I have no idea what for DEVVE. Everyone's kind of itching for that big announcement. We're all pretty sure it's NASDAQ, but it might not be. I don't believe they would have the big announcement before February, just because when they have their key opinion leaders out there and they're still taking applications for the key opinion leaders, they're still taking applications in like late February. Like that stops in late February, but I don't think they would go and have their big announcement like tomorrow when, and then they're still taking KOL applications. So I would say, I would say March probably. Well, I shouldn't say that. I should say don't expect it until at least March. And if I'm being honest, probably at least mid to late March, because you can't just hire a key opinion leader one day and then announce it the next day. They'll probably get the inside scoop on who the partner is and how to address it and all that. So I would even say maybe even April. We'll see. Vegan things. What up, vegan things? Give me those hearts. Meow, meow, meow. My man. Wes says, drop failed for me, unable to get the 1 million MCP. Yeah, same. Wes, thank you for being a member. And yeah, so that is one of the things I do want to go over today. I will talk about, let me talk about DACAT real quick. So again, everyone launching, if you're a celebrity launching a meme coin, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Name that quote. Name the quote from that movie, and I'll give you something special. When we, obviously, I'm not going to release my own because I've just pretty much adopted DACAT's. Again, DACAT is under my control now. It is mine. This is, I do not have as much as I would like. I have less than 1% of the supply. I would like to get a little bit more. New money won't necessarily go into it right away because at least the comic, the one that's going to be on VeVe, that probably won't be on until much later this year, like several months. But there is, if I can quote Transformers here, there's more than meets the eye. And and I shouldn't say comic, it's comics. There'll be multiple of them. That's not the only thing that I have planned. I'm not going to do my save the animals thing until I have probably close to like 100 million. That's probably going to be the next, after the next bull market in like 4-ish years, 5 years. So in the meantime, what am I going to do? That's my baby. The DACAT comic, any merch that we'll do, any other like what else could we do? If you're thinking of it, I probably have plans for it. Whether those plans can come through or not, I don't know, but that's going to be my project. That's my baby. That's going to be the one that I take to wherever I can go. VeVe will be fine without me. Like I'll still talk about VeVe, I'll still post everything, but the amount of work that I do, especially in the next bear market, is really just going to be with DACAT. So I'm not going up and saying like, hey, go buy DACAT right now. Honestly, give me $1 million right now. Probably less than 10% would go into DACAT. Most of it would go into DEVVE, Definity, and OMI. I might make like, yeah, maybe like 5% would go into DACAT. And the reason I have that is because I don't want to kind of promote a project or a token, even though it is mine, without having to get like a meaningful supply of it. Everything that we do, like for the comic, like the comic's obviously going to be on VeVe, so you could probably pay for it in either like gems or even like credit card, whatever. But we are going to do some fun stuff for the token with the holders of that comic. Now, if you get one, that doesn't mean you're going to get anything. But if you get a special mint number, or if you stack, or if you complete the set, then we'll do something special for you that is involving the token. There is going to be different things with the token as well, that we'll do. So and again, like I don't like own the token. Like the contract is renounced, so like no one can like rug or anything. But I'll own like the comic IP and all that. There's still other people that are working on it that are doing like a movie. There's other stuff that's like video games. Like there's other stuff that's happening that I'm not doing, but there's still people working on there for it, and that should definitely be recognized as well. But a lot of where I think the value is going to come from in that is going to be all the stuff that I'm going to do with it, physically and digitally, and we'll have fun with it too. We'll have, where I think DACAT will really shine will be later this. For me anyway, will be later this year, after DEVVE had gone up, OMI had gone up, Definity had gone up, and I have like $8 million, and I'm just gonna play. Honestly, if I can get $1 billion OMI though, double that. Yeah, give me like over 8 figures. Again, that's the idea. What it does, if that's gonna happen, I have no idea. But that's when I'll have some cheddar, some money to burn, and we'll have a lot of good times with it. Anywho, let's get to some of that news, shall we? What's saying? Drop out for me, unable to get the 1 million MCP point drop. Yeah, there are some people that were able to get 2, and like, I was gonna go and again, I'll always be real here. VeVe will fix that eventually. That eventually there's going to come a time where the app works like it should. And then after that happens, whether you're on the web version, whether you're on the app, everyone will have the same chance. I knew it was going to happen. I decided, let me try it on the app. And if it works, then I could say like, hey, great job. It didn't. And this has been an issue with the app since like its inception. And yeah, it's rough. Now, again, it's my own fault. I like, guys, just so you know, if there's ever anything to craft, you really should use the web version, app.vv.me, because the app, again, up until they can, like, somebody can go in and say like, yeah, I got it with the app. I would not use it for this specific thing, because you miss out. And in this case, you missed out on like $1,000. And so obviously I'm a little salty about that. People that use the app, because as soon as I clicked on it, and I was there like a few seconds before it turned 11, it immediately just said craft expired. And I thought like, hey, wow, guys, this is, y'all did it. Y'all sold this out in like 2 seconds. And then a couple of people were commenting, be like, bro, it's like 9 minutes out. I still got it. Like I got it like 11:09 or whatever it was. And I'm like refreshing and refreshing. It says craft expired. I close it out, make sure my app is updated. I go back in, and then craft expired still. And then I think at like 11:25, it said like app sold out, or the craft was sold out. But there were some people that were able to get two. And there was, I think VeVe Fambam had said that she had wanted to she didn't have the million to craft the secret rare, so she wanted to craft the ultra rare, and then it didn't go through. It's like, ah, man. Then she actually does get it to go through and she crafts it, but then it wound up taking 500,000 MCP points from her because she crafted two, even though the first one didn't go through. It wound up going through before it told her. She didn't get an email, and then it took two, and she's like, ah, well, crap. So again, the app is still not where it needs to be. It's not where it should be. It should be better. But again, they've had what, 8 or 9 different updates since the new app launched a few months ago. So it is getting better. Obviously, we all wish it would be even more better. Is that a word? Is that a phrase? Even better than it is. But again, that'll happen at some point. And honestly, I think this is why they don't market. I don't think you want to market an app that doesn't work properly, especially out in Asia. I was reading David's award for Entrepreneur of the Year in like late 2023, and they're just like, and now they're going to attack the Asian market, and that's like a year and a half ago, and it's like, well, that didn't happen. So again, and I think they're very, very close, and as soon as it does happen, I feel like all bets are off, gloves are coming off, and they just market like no other. Again, when Ben came on, I kind of joked that like Deadpool, like coming in at a little bit of a low point, because the app wasn't where it needed to be, the company wasn't where it needed to be. Again, in the best position out of any other company that is in digital collectibles, but it still needed to heal a little bit, and I believe that Ben is doing a very good job at that. But I think fixing things is hardly like the breadth of his ability. I think where his skills lie is in growing, and I mean growing like companies. And I haven't seen that happen yet, just because I know that he was busy trying to like, okay, well, before I can do this, I have to fix all these things. And again, done a fine job with it. But what happened, again, a lot of stuff has been done now that the company's under like his tutelage. And what happens when we're finally able to do all this marketing, all the stuff that he wants? Again, he said a couple of weeks ago, VeVe to be a household name in 5 years. That doesn't happen when you say a few weeks prior, like, oh yeah, I think we would 4x the amount of users in 2025. Something changed, and I think all bets are off, and we go absolutely insane. I don't really expect any of this movement to happen until mid Q2. And again, even then, you kind of have to wait for the narrative to come out. Like that will only take us so far. That narrative has to come back, and who knows, he might be able to kickstart it. So it's very possible that by summer, OMI's in the double zeros again, mid double zero. Maybe it's even 1 or 2 cents. We really don't know. But again, that's why my goal is to get 1 billion OMI. I can see what he's doing, and I know where this leads. So I get it. Hey, app didn't work today. Happens. At some point, they'll get the right combination of things. It'll be done, and then everything will work fine and dandy, and marketing will go, and it's going to be nuts. When is that going to be? Your guess is as good as mine. But I think fairly soon. I know it's a dirty word, but I think fairly soon. Micah says, Gondor calls for aid. Pump the bags, lady. Lady? Oh, baby. All right. Every time one of my wife, I feel like I talked about this recently. I don't know if I talked about it live. every time one of like my like really white friends is like outside and we're like at the beach or something, and you know they have their shirts off or in the bikini if they're a girl, whatever. I'll kind of joke and I'll kind of say like, "Ah, the beacons are lit. Gondor calls for aid," because they're white and they're just reflecting like, yeah, good times. Omar saying, "Good evening." Oh, good evening, Omar. How's it going, fam? Tulsi Gabbard being approved today. That's a good one. Gotta love that. Let's go. We have a bunch of stuff to go over here. New Pokemon anime, Dragonite the Postman is announced. I think Omar, you actually told me about that the other day. I thought that Dragonite was getting his new anime series, and I was like, well, they could do this with it. Remember, in the first movie, you had Mewtwo when he going to New Island, he was using a Dragonite as a postman to deliver invitations to all the trainers. And the fact that Dragonite couldn't smell what was up, like, oh, hey, this Nurse Joy, head of this Pokemon Center, happened to go missing, and then Mewtwo's new assistant looks exactly like her. Like the fact that Dragonite couldn't snuff that out really makes me question the intelligence of that particular Dragonite. But anyway, that's what they're doing. They're doing the Postman. Now, there's a whole bunch of things that they could have done. They could have done Lance's Dragonite. They could have done, hey, you were Dratini at the Dragon Den. They could have started Lake of Rage, whatever, and like you were with Lance through all this. How does it feel? Like you stop Team Rocket at the radio tower. You stop them from transmitting this thing, forcing Magikarp to evolve early because it was wrong. Yet Lance had evolved you early. What do you think about that? I just want to know. I really want to get in there and see what Lance was thinking, what the Pokemon were thinking. Is it something that the Pokemon actually wanted? Is it something that they said like, "Hey, I want to do this"? Is it something like for Charizard, like certain Pokemon, like yeah, you evolve at level 36, but when an Aerodactyl comes in and starts hecking with you, do you evolve out of anger? Is that? I'm just very curious to see that type of question answered in an anime one day, and maybe this Dragonite, maybe this is Lance's Dragonite, and afterwards, after Lance is like, "Hey, I got to go away," and he has to find another job, and this is his job. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I would love to see Claire in there. I'd love to see Lance. Even like Price, because back in the first generation, there were no Ice type trainers. Well, you had Lorelei, but she's part of the Elite Four. She's under Lance. But I would really like to see Price, who's a gym leader. He's probably dead by now. President, like, yeah, Ice type Pokemon, but Claire's still stronger. Just really curious about all of that. And again, if VeVe ever announces Pokemon one day, I'll 24-hour stream. Heard it here first. Anywho, let's move on past that. Oh, so we had a couple of 100s the other day. It was Clever Jerk and Mark Quinn. Shout out to them. They're just awesome. Ask her how many. Yeah, I'm sorry. The funny meme. Someone, oh, my friends. Oh yeah. Thank you, Bill Gardner, saying you're gonna load up on my comic when I go and do it. And same thing with Turtle Golf Max minting this one. Can't wait. Where was I? Oh, so speaking of DACAT had posted like Happy Catter Day DACAT, and then you have Kansas Born, who's got 43,000 followers, is all just giving us meows. Like, oh, that's really cool. The more bigger people we get, the better. Check her search. Nope. And check out this awesome photo of me like 5.5 years ago. It was definitely before February 2019. It might have been January 2019 because I didn't have my Donkey Kong yet, and I got that in February 2019 at Harry Potter World. I must say. Have checked while coming across that. Okay, cool. Probably okay. Very good. Social dude. So Elon Musk had posted the Social Security database is not deduplicated, meaning you can have the same Social Security number many times over, which further enables massive fraud. Tax dollars are being stolen. Preach. Let this Department of Government Efficiency flip over every single rock out there. Oh God, there's a lot of those. Like to be honest. Okay. So I guess there's rivers in Peru and Uruguay that had turned red on like by themselves, like on the same day, despite them being like 3,000 miles away from each other. Very strange. Very strange. So I woke up on Saturday morning, right? And obviously I'm here, so obviously I woke up. And Jack the Ripper news had hit TikTok and like, oh, we found out who Jack the Ripper was. I was like, what? One of the craziest mysteries ever, right? And then I scrolled through all the TikToks of people reacting to it, and there's a lot of people like. So I know that the women from like 15 to 45 like love murder mystery stuff, right? They're always watching true crime. They're always watching this stuff. A little scary, anyway. But aside from them, I feel like we got through that whole serial killer craze in like the mid to late 2000s with like Dexter. It's probably mid 2000s. When did Dexter come out? And the reason I say that, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I had never, hold on, let me Dexter. All right. I had never, oh yeah, 2006. I'd never really thought one way or other about serial killers in our younger, I think in the 90s, we were just worried about like sandpits. And then like, I don't know, WWE, like serial killer craze hadn't come out. And I don't think it really ever was a craze, because every other person I had asked about like serial killers, I was like, yeah, it's a little weird. And the reason why I did say that is because in 9th grade, we had to do a report on our favorite serial killer. And those were the words. Like, they weren't just like, hey, we're going to give you a list of people who have done these gruesome, awful things. And then you can pick. There was like, no, take your favorite serial killer. Like, are we supposed to have Long Island is weird because nobody else on God's green earth in any other like state or country had to do that. It's specifically a Long Island thing from what I can tell. Anyway, yeah, so that was just it was very strange. The comment down below if you had to do that when you were in high school, because I did, and even at the time I thought like, this is weird. Why should we have a favorite? And then of course, like when you have to go in and read all of these like gruesome things and like, oh my, so I did mine on John Wayne Gacy because he was a clown, and I do not like clowns. I was a little scared. I was scared of clowns when I was young. I still don't like them because so I don't know if you have if anyone remembers what a tape was. I'm sure my older people do. They used to have like ratings on them. So I was at, I think it was like Total Video. It wasn't even like Blockbuster. And I was young. I was 7, and my friend's brother had like watched the movie It, or the docuseries from like the 80s, and we were told we weren't allowed, but I really wanted to see it. And so I grabbed the tape and I like covered like the R rating, and I was like, can I get this? It's about a clown. You know, Tim Curry's in it. It's supposed to be really funny. John Ritter's in it. I knew my parents like John Ritter from like Cheers or whatever it was, and they had to know, right? Like they had to know, saying like, they had to know what it was. And this is probably one of those like stove things where it's just like, yeah, yeah, I was talking about this with Tammy the other day. Like, did you let your kids touch the stove so this way they never do it again, or do you just tell them and hopefully they listen? I was a stove child, and they let me touch the burning stove, and I never did it again. So I think this was one of those things. I was just like, oh, you're gonna try to lie to me, huh? You're gonna try to cover up that R rating, huh? Well, I'll show you. I'm gonna let you watch it. And I did, and it was watching the 80s. I know like now it's silly, but in the 80s or in the 90s, watching it at 7 years old was not great. So anyway, that's why I still don't like clowns. And when I'm like 14, but whenever I was in this freaking class, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna conquer my fears and do a report on this clown serial killer. And then I did, and you know, that was it. Anyway, let's continue. I don't know why I brought this freaking thing up. Let's go to deposit cash. Yeah, I don't know why Coinbase is holding people's funds for quite a while now. My boys had funds in there for a couple weeks. Sorry, potato salad. The memes. We have Sergio Rodriguez saying, should VeVe allow users to buy MCP points with OMI? I said yes. Other people said yes. I think that was already a thing, or it will be a thing. It might be OMI to bronze tickets to MCP, or it might be OMI to MCP to bronze. Well, I think it's OMI to bronze tickets to MCP is, I think, what will happen. So it won't be direct for MCP, but you'll be able to get around that. Bill Gardner saying, what up? Yo, what up, Bill Gardner? How's it going, fam? Meow, meow. Chuck and Hank says, hey, 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 there's nothing else I can say. Hey, hey, there's a face that says time to pump. Planet Vampire, what's going on, fam? Woof. President Trump says Elon Musk's Doge may have found fraud in treasuries. I believe so. I believe they did. President Trump to announce 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum tomorrow. I think he did that today. I'm very curious to see how that's going to work out. We'll see. This guy named Lucre, Lucre, had posted a meme coin. It was up to an $815,000 market cap. Let's see what it is now. I was going to get it, but then I was like, bro, if I'm going to gamble, I'm just going to gamble on DEVVE where I know what it's going to do. And thank God I did not, because it's $400,000 market cap now. So, huzzah. Yeah, do you know Nintendo was founded when Jack the Ripper was still on the loose? Wild, right? Nintendo's so old. Some internal planning. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, so we have a question for Tom Anderson by this guy named Oliver G saying, how many devs are there currently and total team size maybe? I think a lot of people here don't have much insight into how big the team is or how well funded it is. Talking about DEVVE. I think these are critical for the confidence and delivery in growth, as projects like rebranding is still partially rolled out and not on all brands, etc. It's a bit of a pivotal time, clearly, but I think other commented on how this can be perceived. Tom says, I don't think this is the right question. Small teams build big things. No matter what our size, there are projects with large number of folks, but often when I see large numbers for early projects, it's more of a negative to me. We've been growing for 9 years, and we're in a stronger position than we've ever been before. Gotta love Tom Anderson's answers. Kumo says, Mbaku. Bill Gardner says, forever. I freaking love these two. Kumo, thank you for being a member. He says, we need Lord of the Rings IP. I'd sell my absolute baddie of a girlfriend for a couple of Sauron secret prayers. Jack, hey, she's sticking around. I understand what you mean. I get you. Lord of the Rings would be so. It would be fun in Legolas is my boy. Love him. Like Legolas, like that's who I played in any Lord of the Rings game that I had. Just Legolas all day, just all day. I would just absolutely wreck people. The first one, I don't know. I didn't play any Fellowship of the Ring games, but Two Towers, Return of the King on PS2 were amazing. And then there was Lord of the Rings. I think Two Towers for the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, like all of the Lord of the Rings games that I played, all Legolas. Like all the way through. He was just loved that man. Aragorn would be cool, Gimli would be cool, Gandalf would be cool. I'm not gonna lie. The only reason why I would get any of the Hobbits is so I could like if we get another, I'd play with them in the VeVe verse by like let's say if we get Nintendo and they give us a bomb, I would just blow up the Hobbitses all day. It'd just be funny. Or maybe put them in funny positions. Anyway, yeah, no, I feel you. Sauron would be dope. The rings would be dope. I like the Rings of Power for men. Men are cool. Elves are cool. Dwarves be getting those riches. And again, thank you for the Mbaku forever. Marsan says, DACAT excitement equals purchase my first buy. Oh, did you now? Did you get a little buy? Let's see what you did. DACAT B. Oh yeah, there was a couple little buys over there. Oh, very good. Very good. My man getting that bread. Yeah, DACAT is my homie. Kumo says The Big Short. It was not The Big Short. Maybe that was not, but this goes like way back. Well, not like the 30s or anything or the 50s, but it's older than The Big Short. I don't know. Let's go back to the rest of the news. Top 4 secondary market brands sold on VeVe yesterday were Brandalized, Marvel Mighties, New Zealand Post Stamp Art, and the Fiches. Shout out to the Fiches. More on them later. Donation update. As we contribute the support to LA Strong Heart Initiative, donations from the primary market sales will be capped on 28 February 2024. After this date, any remaining LA Strong Heart collectibles will be delisted from the store, marking the final opportunity to collect this meaningful collection. Yeah, interesting. Oh God, these memes. President Trump orders the U.S. Treasury to stop producing new pennies. I remember this old mailman in like the 90s saying like, oh yeah, save your pennies. They're going to become a rarity one day soon. And now it's finally happening. No more new pennies. He says, for far too long, the United States has minted pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents. Heckin' stupid. I'm game for it. Game for it. Also, I was supposed to go live today with Amit Gera, who's one of the leaders of Google's DeepMind. When we were emailing, he's like, yeah, let's do a 30-minute call on the 10th at 6. And I was like, well, it's not really a long time for a podcast, but I know you're clearly super busy. You have a bunch of important work you're doing. So I didn't say this, so I was just like, okay, yeah, bet. I didn't say that either. I was more professional. And then he gives me a call. He's like, hey, we're not like live streaming. I was like, if you're like camera shy, I guess you don't have to like turn on your camera or whatever. And he's like, no, like this call is just so I can like run it through like the bosses so I can make sure I can do it. I was like, oh, I thought when you said 30 minutes, I thought you had 30 minutes in your schedule and that was allotted to me. And it was, but he's just like, no, this is so I can just get, like what do you want to do on the podcast? And I was like, talk about stuff. And he's like, fucking Deie. He's like, well, what do you want to talk about? And I was just like, oh, well, AI, because that's what he's on. Like, and he's like, okay, anything you wanted to ask in particular? I was like, your thoughts on things? I was like, listen, I don't really have these planned, but we'll talk AI. We'll talk like, maybe your thoughts on Willow and quantum computer. And then we went out having a good conversation. But yeah, that was my bad, guys. If you were waiting for him today, and of course he called me like 20 minutes before we were supposed to go on. So I was like, oh God. So I had to like delete everything off everywhere and be like, ugh. So that was my bad. Vision. So there's a big announcement coming soon for Speedy Comics, and they're posting a lot of Nintendo stuff. So I'm very, very curious as to what it is. I do have a meeting with Rashid soon, who's the head of Speedy Comics. Wonder what that's about. Gonna be something good, but yeah, I'll let y'all know. Who dis? Tokens. All right, so about Definity. Governance. The governance mechanism of the token will allow token holders to vote on major events and decisions of the future of the exchange and protocol, benefiting the wider community of the nature of decentralized services. Staking and trading. Staking and participation fees are part of a central element of decentralized exchange and protocol. As a network provider and participant, you can select an institutional retail pool and stake your tokens. Be advised that the staking of the tokens is like filled, like at 3 cents it was filled, at 6 cents it was filled. When it gets to 10 cents, we'll have another pool. Staking the tokens has closed. They had it 3 cents. It got filled, and they opened it up for more people at 6 cents, but it also got filled. Next time it opens up, the price will be 10 cents. So we'd have to wait for that. Sorry, I'm talking like a freaking John Malkovich over there, where every word is a sentence. But I just had to get it back to a text. Super Bowl. Oh yeah, Super Bowl commercial. The halftime show sucked. I'm not really a fan of new rap or mumble rap. Now the first song's pretty good. I think the third song he did was pretty good. Some of the lyrics are straight gas. They're fire. But a lot, it's kind of underwhelming. I did see the memes of Serena, which is Drake's ex, like doing the the Crip Walk, like on a diss song to Drake, and that, I'm not gonna lie, that was awesome. But on a general whole, like, was pretty underwhelmed. But I like that the Eagles won, because I'm not saying that I dislike Kansas City, but it seems that a lot of the calls are like in favor of them, like every game. Like there's a reason why people think that the NFL is rigged, because there's a lot of stuff that should be called against them that's not. There's a lot of things that should not have been called that are called in favor of them. Very, very not good. Anyway, we got Bill Gardner saying Earth 2 launches in a couple hours. Yeah, they've been trying. They've been trying for a while. They've been trying for quite a while, and I think it'll happen tonight. Bill Gardner pulled the 69 secret rare. Yeah, you did. You dog. I am. What does it get us? Hold on. I think it gets a certain amount of more tokens and other perks. I'll find out. Okay. Yeah, that also nice. Everyone comment nice down below for the 69. All right, where am I at here? Still yesterday. Okay. Mr. MC1 posts Marvel Comics supply too low for me to double up in 2025, because I want to, but prices are still 1.5 to 2.5 times what they were last week. He has 535 commons, 289 uncommons, 119 rares, 73 ultra rares. I don't know how many secret rares he has. He didn't put it. The VeVe store only has 98 commons, 12 uncommons, 13 rares, and 20 ultra rares. Says, God bless anyone's listing at last week. Gem prices, it was 16 for the common, 34 for the uncommon, 44 for the rare, and 78 for the ultra rare. Now it's 22 for the common, 75 for the uncommon, 125 for the rare, and 138 for the ultra rare. That is wild. We can do that. We can do that. We can do the staking. Mr. Smith has been cleaning every 6 weeks, but now so much harder to get supply at good prices. It's fair. Oh, Ben Rose had talked about collectibles yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And I'll read the article he's referring to. Give me a sec here. Cool. Congrats, Bill and Randy. We'll love that. Oh, yes, I did love that mint. That mint was great. Ben Rose post yesterday. The collectibles market isn't just for kids anymore. It's booming among adults whose collecting takes them back to the future, and the data proves it. I love how he says back to the future and in caps so that people know that he's referencing what we have. As a recent article from The Guardian highlights how collectibles have evolved into a 632 million dollar sector in the UK alone, driven by anime, manga, and pop culture brands. What's even more interesting, the rise of the kidult category, where adults are proudly engaging in the hobby, fueling demand for limited edition and artist-designed collectibles. The trend isn't new. Star Wars figures in the 70s and Care Bears in the 80s showed us the power of nostalgia. But today, digital platforms like VeVe Official, streaming, and social media have accelerated the global appetite for collectibles. From vending machine surprises to high-end art toys, collectors are not just buying products, they're engaging with brands, building communities, and seeking exclusive experiences. For brands and businesses, the opportunity is massive. The smartest companies are leaning into fandom, collaborating with artists, and embracing new distribution models by both physical and digital. As we step further into 2025, the question isn't whether collectibles will continue to thrive, but how brands will innovate to meet this demand. The real winners will be those who understand that collecting isn't just a transaction, it's an experience. Now let me go over the article that he was referencing here. I love how they, oh God, what the heck? I love how they have My Little Ponies in the article. Then the collectibles are taking over Toy Box, but now the grown-ups are playing as well. This is from Alice Fisher. I don't want to read this whole thing. I'll read it. Maybe I should. I don't know. Comment down below if you want me to read the article. because I don't. One Punch Card says giveaway, how to enter, tag 2 friends below. You follow One Punch Card and Josh Emmett on Instagram. Create a Fanatics Live account using our link in bio. Follow One Punch Cards there. I don't know how many people are going to do all that. But the contest ends at February 12th, 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. The prize is 2024 UFC Topps Chrome Hobby Box. And yeah, Josh Emmett over there promoting it. Oh, man. Oh, that's a good quote. That is a good quote. I did love that mint. It is an iconic number. We love it. We love it. Let's go down to Cool Mo saying apparently Florida Rep Luna is going to have a press conference in Washington tomorrow about something bigger than aliens. I heard about that. You know, it would be awesome if we got the IP Mars attacks and we were able to just like chilling here with my alien buddy, watching something. Like, I would love that. That's something I would totally get. I would much rather Mars attacks than like Frodo. I mean, obviously, if we go into Lord of the Rings, Legolas trumps like everyone. But I would like that. I don't know why I dislike Frodo so much, but I do. But yeah, I'm curious on what that means. Bigger than like what's bigger than God? Like VeVe says one of my boys has always not liked VeVe or digital collectibles for years, but yesterday he came over to watch the Super Bowl, and he's wearing the new Meta Black AR prescription glasses. Times are changing. Oh, my Bob Dylan at any time over the last 40 years, because the times they are changing. Come gather around people wherever you roam. Tulsa got in. Yep. It was recent. Happened like in the last 2 hours. Nancy Mace was speaking. Oh, is there more snow tonight? Nancy Mace was speaking as well. Nancy Mace was going on just, oh God, there's a lot of stuff from her here. Love that lady as well. Good times. Planet Vampire says Deie and Definity are both easy to get in Coinbase Wallet in a couple of clicks with no Ethereum needed, just clicking buy. You can buy it without swapping ETH. It's like OMI after you find it in search on the ETH chain. Just bought my first bit of Deie. You will not be sorry. Deie is going to. I don't know when. And again for Deie. Oh, I'm still on the cat here. Hold on. Let me go to the. Oh God, where's Deie? All right, I'm just gonna search it. I'm not gonna try to scroll, because that will take forever and ever. Let's make this last forever. So again, it was at 83 cents the other day. It's at $1.05 now. Granted, like 2 weeks ago, it was at like $1.80. Then like 6 months ago, it was at like 14 cents. So, you know, it's all over the place. At some point when it breaks out, I had this guy named Believes Crypto on the other day, and he's just like, he's a TA guy. He's like, based on the cup and handle pattern and this, when it breaks out, it'll go up to $18. I was like, I don't know TA, but yeah, you keep saying that if even half of that comes true, we're at $9 and I got a nice little chunk of cheddar. Get my first little bit of OMI. Well, since my new goal has been now 100 or a billion OMI. Bill Gardner, give me those dabs. Thank you, Bill Gardner. Oh, hello, VeVe Digital Collectibles. Please share the love for Randy and his community on this Valentine's week. Is it Valentine's? Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Is it Valentine's week? Yeah, it is. It is. I had to get a picture of that. I will tell you, I have a lot of Valentine's Day stories, and most of them are hysterical. Did you guys know that White Castle is a legitimate place to bring your date on Valentine's Day? I have a great story about that. Join me Friday. I'll be. That's when Valentine's Day is, right? I will be talking about that. It's going to be great. Can't wait. Speaking of Peru, you're going to watch Paddington in Peru? I'm not 100% sure what that is. Let's see what we have here. Paddington in Peru. Probably not. Maybe if I take like a date to see it, because girls like this type of stuff. Not really my. This is not my scene. This is not my scene. I don't really do kid, and this isn't like, and maybe it's a hold on. Maybe it's 92% Rotten Tomatoes, 6.8 on IMDb. Even though it releases on there. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, there was a 2014 film, and maybe that's what got the. Okay, cast. I don't know anyone in this cast. Oh, maybe I know Madeline Harris from something, but I do not know. Oh, Antonio Banderas, love him. Oh, Julie Walters, know her too. Oh, Haley Atwell, she's in this. Okay, maybe I Paddington in Peru rating. Is it like it's PG? I again, this isn't really my thing, even though I'm from Peru and maybe this bear is from Peru. I don't know. If I take a date to it, maybe we'll see. Also, it'd be nice to see Paddington on VeVe. I do like bear. I like bear. I mean, we have Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, but they're in like statue form, which is great. It's a first appearance that in the next year will have done crazy things because everyone's going to want it. But if I want to get Winnie the Pooh, I want like little cuddly Winnie the Pooh. They got statue Winnie the Pooh, which is fine anyway. They have a couple of. I would like Eeyore. I think because originally he was voiced by the guy that does Optimus Prime, for Peter Cullen. Forgot his name for a second. Senior moment there. I'd like him because I don't like depressed, but I like that they he had a little bit of depression and they wrote about it, and I was like, and his friends still invited him out anyways. Like, you know what? That's really cool. There's one Comic-Con where Peter Cullen had a conversation with himself as both like Eeyore and Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime comes in and says, "Why the long face, Eeyore?" And then Eeyore's like, "Oh, they just told me I'm not gonna be me anymore." And he responds like, "Whose butt do I kick?" And it was just fun to watch. Anyway, big love for Winnie the Pooh. And maybe I don't want to see Paddington. Maybe I will. Desmond Keenan says, "What am I missing? Can't find DEVVE on Coinbase." It's on Coinbase Wallet, so you can't get it on Coinbase. Eventually, I think it'll be on Coinbase, probably this year. But yeah, not there yet. Duh, Flamingo saying murder mystery is very popular. That gender is consistently in the top 10 in shows, books, podcasts, etc. So I remember reading a statistic that on the top 5 things that women search in porn is surgeon, billionaire, vampire, werewolf, and pirate. But serial killer was like just under that. It was like number 7 or something. So yeah, women are cray cray, bro. They have like no situational awareness, or like what's that called when he's like, oh yeah, I guess situational awareness, because they have like no concept of like, oh, this is dangerous. The amount of dangerous situations that I've seen my friends that are girls like go into, I was like, you're freaking stupid. And it's just, yeah, it's wild. Self-preservation, that is the word I was looking for. Yes, cool Mo. DEVVE is on the Coinbase wallet. I don't like clowns either. So remember Tim Curry grabbing John Ritter and saying, "Kiss me, fat boy." Yeah, that was hysterical. He's great. He's great in like everything that he does. Love him. Love that man. Justin Keenan says, "Oh, thank you. Found it now. I have to figure this part out." Yeah, a lot of times you just have to go in and swap it. Just swap DEVVE for it. But on the wallet, I guess, who said that before? That I guess on Coinbase Wallet you could buy it with no ETH needed, which is pretty heckin' awesome. So yeah, that's really cool. What's up, JKRB? Thank you for the thumbs up. And again, thank you, VeVe Official, for saying, please share the love for Randy and his community on this Valentine's week. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Oh, not subscribe. Subscribe. Bill Garner, smash that like button. Smash it. Okay. What else we got here? I guess 4 years ago, yesterday, I called my friend Kara because Lil Nas X had performed, I think, at the Super Bowl. And I called my friend Kara and I screamed, Lil Nas X has better boobs than you, and hung up. Because he had got like breast implants for some reason. And it was great. It was the most hysterical thing. C29 Rollins, what's up, VeVe fam? What up? Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Mogar says, speaking of streams, me and Zombie are gonna do a live stream in about an hour. Yo, where are you doing it? Where you doing? I'm very. I'll watch. I'll watch. Where are you doing it? Let me know, because I want to know where you're doing it at. Wow, that's a lot of notifications. I feel like Toph, where she's like, that's a lot of fire, isn't it? Oh, thank you, VeVe Official, for saying, join Real Randy Chavez. Shoot. Live on YouTube tonight. Why, yes, thank you so much. Moving on. No, I've been a citizen here for like 30 years. Ugar says, I got a 9-year-old daughter, so we're definitely watching Paddington. You're definitely watching Paddington, yeah. Well, let me know how it is. And Dark Light says, we will see 00025. If we break down below 00026, we might keep going. And that would be pretty sweet. Again, like that, a billion is going to be very hard to get, but it's going to be much easier to get if OMI goes down. Like I'm thinking, okay, OMI's going to be, 0003 for a while. But dude, if people go crazy, if they get crazy and they start selling at like 0020, like 0015, dude, if we go down 0010, it's yeah, I'll get to a billion. Should be relatively no problem. And obviously other stuff has to go up first, but yeah. As the End News and Bitforks releasing more OMI, they do sporadically. There's still like 13 billion out there. So if you want the cheaper prices, and it's like, well, I don't want to buy 0003. I'll wait till it gets to 0020. It might happen. Might even go lower than that, because as long as the people are not buying, and there's going to be people again, there's still 13 billion OMI on Bitforex, and they release like a billion or so at a time. You get all that sell pressure, and there's not enough buy pressure, then the price just goes down. It's very possible that we can get 0020, 0001s. And oh God, please let me get that billion. Let me get that billion OMI. That song of I want to be an OMI billionaire, so freaking bad. How much OMI nowadays we consider a whale? Honestly, I would not be considered a whale nowadays. Like I don't think. I don't know, like 500 million OMI maybe. Oh, sweet. Bill and Zombies Metaverse Adventure. This is great. Oh, YouTube. Okay. Send me the link. Oh, y'all gonna talk about Earth 2 and Fishes and VeVe and Mike Derulo's coming. Yeah. Sorry. That's a reference from something my friend Johnny used to say. Oh, Ripple partners with Unicambo to offer cross-border payment between Portugal and Brazil. Interesting. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy bought another 7,633 Bitcoin worth 742 million. Publicly traded Metaplanet to acquire 21,000 Bitcoin worth 2 billion by 2026. Nuts. Oh, my bays. Yeah. Use the mobile app. When will Alluvium moon? Dude, Alluvium's been. I have, yeah. It's $20, bro. It's $20. It'll go up at some point, but Jesus, man, this price has gotten punished. For reference, it was like $1,800 in 2021. November 30th, 2021, it was $1,844. Now, granted, there were much less Alluvium out there at that time, so I would not expect it to go up there again. But I think it can go up to, well, no, man. It should go up to like I think several $100s. Because what is it now? $150 million market cap. 10x is 1.5. 1.5 billion, and it might even do 100x. Illuvium's going to go crazy when the gaming stuff comes out. It'll go nuts. I mean, price has just been absolutely savagely wrecked. I don't think it's been this low since yeah, I don't think it's been this low since its inception. I don't think it's ever been this low. It's literally at the lowest point it could ever be. Oh no, we dipped down to 1837 on February 3rd. So, but yeah, it's just got savaged by more 20. Yeah, I understand. When it'll go up? Probably when Essence goes up. Let's take a look at Essence right now. Oh, it's up 6% on the day. Not bad, not bad. Up to 6 cents. Really nothing. What lessons have you learned this cycle so far? Mine was Bitcoin dominance. Other coins moving first for OMI. Honestly, it's going to be the market yet is not mature enough to where money goes into good things. Money will still go into places where it shouldn't. Now, obviously, we always knew that things can be under or overvalued, and because that's what it does. But the amount of money going into these nothing memes is frankly ridiculous. It's not like when you had Tesla Q saying like, oh, Tesla, we're going to short it because it's a car company and it's greater than all the other car companies combined. Well, they were wrong, because it's not just a car company. The value derives from it being mostly software, that like computers that happens to make cars. It's not like I'm that person that's like old and saying like, oh, this company's overvalued because I don't understand something. Like, the memes bring no value, most of them. But people do that because they do. And so I think, I forget the quote was, never underestimate the power of a stupid people at large. And a lot, like, so again, what I'm doing with DACAT might not matter. Like, I'll give the token a ton of utility. I'm working on multiple things for the project in general. And like, me, like, it's going to be awesome. But there could be something called poop stain, and poop stain will come out, and that'll have like an $8 million market cap, because it will. Because people are like, yeah, poop stain, haha, funny. It'll have nothing. It might get rugged. Like, again, I have no idea if poop stains, even if that might already be a token. I don't know. But that's just what happens. People just throw money into stuff that is like memeable. Where other projects that are legit trying to build something, like, they don't get it. Like why is Brett worth like hundreds of millions of dollars and OMI's worth like 80 million? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Why are there memes out there that are worth billions of dollars, and then DEVVE, which is literally like disrupting an entire financial industry, and it's at like $100 million market cap? Make it make sense. Patrick has thought LA Hearts in the store ended, but now I see it's the 28th. I thought it was always the 20th. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was different. Who is this? Love your. Oh yeah. Oh, so I've also been starting to post on Twitter stuff that I thought was fun. So I posted a couple things recently. 20 hours ago, I posted like, "Hey everyone, here's a funny memory back in 2017 when I had a stalker." Had a stalker in 2017. It was pretty wild. And then I had another one, like, here's a memory from 2018. Read for a laugh. These are things that they happen, and they're funny. And I just want people to know that outside of finance and outside of military and PI stuff, and like, I still have stuff that happens to me that's funny. And I just think I should share it, just to make people smile. You gotta smile. You gotta smile. It's the right thing to do. You gotta share. You gotta care. There'll always be a way through. Sorry, quoting a song there. Also, what I have not asked y'all to do, if y'all can just smash that like button, it's a free way to help support the channel. Oh, yeah, that's it. That'll be it for me today. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. I love and miss y'all. All right. Ooh, I got an email. Bros, I gotta say, Definity is stupid undervalued. I gotta get more. Where's the month to date? Sorry. Actually, Definity is not doing a lot this month. All right. I had to bounce. I love y'all. Class dismissed. I need an outro song. 3 months of winter coldness and awesome holidays. I forget the rest of the song. All right. I love you guys. All right. Bye.